Welcome to Vagabond Builds with James and Sandu, and today we're bringing you a special comparison video between the 2025.5, so this is the refreshed XC90 in the T8 top of the line trim, the Ultra, okay? And we're comparing it over to the full EV EX90 top of the line trim, the Performance Ultra, and we're going to be talking about which one you want if you're in the market, okay? So let's start with first, this is the plug-in hybrid T8 all-wheel drive, okay? This is bringing in a 2.0 liter four-cylinder turbocharged engine paired together with the 8-speed automatic Geartronic transmission, pushing 455 horsepower with 523 pounds-feet of torque. Now, to a full gas tank, you get about 530 miles. To a full charge on electric only, you get 30 miles to a full charge. About 5 hours to fully charge that 30 miles at 240 volts. But if we come over to the EX90, the all EV, you're getting a single transmission, dual motor, one motor in the front, one motor in the back, or twin motor, shall I say, because the EX90s do come standard twin motors, all-wheel drives. Now, this one is coming, I did mention the single-speed transmission, pushing 510 horsepower on the Performance Ultra with 671 pounds-feet of torque. Everyone, this is probably the biggest horse in the barn at Volvo on their lots, okay? So probably smoking that one completely. This is the one you want if you're talking about speed and the feeling of just that blood rushing to the back of your body. But the full charge is 300 miles to a full charge, and it takes about 10 hours at 240 volts to fully charge this exact vehicle. Now, this is, I want to mention, it is the mulberry red exterior paint color. This is the unique and new exterior paint color at Volvo. Let's talk some dimensions, okay? Dimensions first on the EX90. Starting with length, width, and height, the EX90 is coming in at 198 inches in length, 77 inches in width, 69 inches in height, with 4,850 pounds of towing capacity. Now, if we come over to the XC90, the length is 195 inches, width is 79 inches and 70 inches in height, which makes it a bit bigger on that scale, with 5,000 pounds of towing capacity, everyone. Now, MPG on the XC90, this is combined at 58 miles. Gas only is 27 miles to the gallon. MPG on the EX90 is 83 city, 78 highway, and 81 combined, everyone. Now, let's talk about the front ends. EX90, we have the Thor Hammer LED headlights that open up when you turn on those headlights. We got the pressure washers for those headlights, dropping down bumper sensors, no active radiator front grille because you don't need the airflow because you don't have an engine to cool off. Dropping down high gloss black on that lower front end. Over to the refreshed XC90. We have the LED active high beam system. Again, it kind of had that Thor hammer look, the more squinted, sleek design on this refresh. Dropping down over to the new refreshed grille, active air vent. Because of those radiators, we have the 360 panoramic camera, bumper sensors going across this front end as well. And we also have an active lower grille. Over to the side. The side, again, yes, different rims. They're running Pirelli Scorpions. On the EX90, we have the Pirelli Scorpion MSs coming in at a size of 265/40/22. And over to the T8 plug-in hybrid, you're running a Pirelli Scorpion all-season Verde tire, 275/40/21. So you got a bigger rim on the EX90. Air ride suspension on the EX90. Performance Ultra top trim. We do not have air ride on the Ultra XC90 T8 plug-in hybrid. It is a shock spring strut suspension. Over to the side of the car. Side mirrors do come automatic foldable, integrated blinker lighting, 360 panoramic camera, but I have to say I do like the look on the EX90 better. It has a frameless side mirror, so when you're sitting inside the car, it just gives it more of a classier feel. Over to the door handles, as you guys can tell, we still have the old pull towards yourself door handle. It does have the smart access keyless fob entry, but here we got the deployable handles. If you do lock these, they actually go flush with the body of the car. Beautiful look on this, giving it more of a minimalistic, contemporary, modern look, okay? Over to the windows, we got the trims. One is silver chrome on the XC90. EX90, we have that blacked out look, just giving it that sportier, aggressive look. Blacked out roof rails compared to the silver roof rails, okay? We have a stationary panoramic glass on the EX90 to where on the XC90 we have a tilt slide moonroof option all the way over to the second row seating. Over to the rear ends. Gas lid that is opened by a button on the left-hand side of the steering column, okay? Also, we got push this open, and this is what your electric plug looks like, okay? So one opens with a push, one actually opens with a gas lid, or a gas lid button. Over to the rear ends. Starting with the top of the rear end. Now, we still have the same idea with the spoilers and the integrated brake lights with the privacy glass and the wipers, but where we're gonna see a lot of difference are those tail lights, okay? Now, we got a split tail light on the EX90, still LED with the black housing, phenomenal look, compared over to a one-piece taillight, blacked out lens, not so much the housing, but again, the same design coming in from the pre-refresh, okay? Now over to the tailgates themselves, complete different shapes and looks with kind of the old look on the XC90 to where we have more of the new EV contemporary modern look on the EV XC90. Now coming lower than that, the rear bumper fascias, different with the cuts, the angles, the parking reflectors. I want you guys to keep an eye there. XC90, bumper sensors higher. EX90 going across the lowest side of that rear end, okay? Now, backup camera right here versus backup camera over the license plate right here, okay? This is where we like to stop a second and give a thanks and a shout out to Nilo Volvo here at the Sacramento, California store for providing us these beautiful cars for this walk around review. So shoot over to them. If you're in need of Volvo, they got a great team to spend their time for the ins and outs of what you guys need, okay? So now that we're done showing you guys a quick look over the rear ends, let's go ahead and show you guys the cargo. Tailgate lift button is down here. The tailgate lift button on the XC90 was up here over that license plate, okay? So now let's talk cargo. EX90 cargo is going to be smaller with 11 cubic feet of space behind that third row. Behind the second row, we have a whopping 23 cubic feet of space, 67 cubic feet of space behind the second and third row when they're down. On the right-hand side, we have an electric control unit for that air ride suspension. We can lift and decrease that ride height by the touch sensitive panel here, and we can electrical drop the third row bench seats back here. Under the mat, we got some more cargo area, a mesh pocket with a 12-volt outlet. We can actually pick those up as well. Now, if we come over to the XC90, let's go ahead and talk some cargo numbers. Cargo area on the XC90 is 13 cubic feet of space behind the third row, 37 cubic feet of space behind the second row with the third row seat down, and 86 cubic feet of space with the second and third row. So a way bigger number than the EX90, I have to say. Under this mat, we get light cargo area, pocket here, 12-volt outlet, no air ride suspension. We can't control these electrical. We'd actually have to lift that lever and drop them down, okay? Then you manually lift them up. Now that we're done talking about the powertrains, showing you guys a quick look on the exteriors and cargo, let's show you guys a quick look on the interiors. Before we continue with this video, if you find yourself in the Sacramento, California, or the greater Sacramento area like Rockland, Roseville, Elk Grove, and many other cities, if you need a passenger van rental for the friends and the family for the fun activities such as San Francisco, Napa Valley Wine Country, Yosemite, Lake Tahoe, Yellowstone, and many other places, use the link in the description below and rent from Vagabond Van Rentals. We also deliver. Thanks, guys. Let's go ahead and continue with this video. Now XC90 first. This is the interior refresh look. Let's talk about what the Ultra trim brings you versus the full EV EX90. Now, starting with the chairs or the seats, we have the Napa leather perforated because the Ultra trim gets you heated seats and ventilated seats with the leg extensions and the side bolster controls, okay? That's for the seating area. You get the Napa leather to wear on the EX90. You're getting that Nordico upholstery, which which is not natural leather, okay? Now, door panels. If you take a look at the door panels, the Ultra trim gets you the Harman Kardon premium sound system with the memory seating, and we have that beautiful Nordico on that armrest with the natural wooden inlay crossing that full door panel and the ambient lighting. The dashboard area. This is the refresh look. So you got the new trim look with the canvas wrap, natural wood inlays, the new vents. We got an 11.3-inch infotainment screen with the same exact interface as the EX90. So XC90 and EX90, pretty much the same interface. Dropping down the center console, crystallized shift lever, cup holders, and some high gloss black trim with that natural wooden inlay cover that locks into place. Armrest with the Nordico upholstery. USB-C plugins, 12-volt outlet, okay? Now, wanted to show you guys a real quick look on the camera. Just a real quick look on the camera system. All right, bird's eye view. We can mess around with that side to side and front. Click out of that. And then we could also make that a bigger screen for the navigation. Here, where you're going to see a big difference is 12.3-inch screen, full digital cluster on the XC90 versus the EX90 comes in with a little 9-inch cluster screen. I'm going to show you guys that in a little bit. Heads-up display in both. This is what the dashboard looks like, and it is wrapped. Over to the driver door panel. This is what it looks like, same as the passenger with just the controls on the 4 windows and the side mirrors. Steering wheel comes leather wrapped with the controls for the cluster and your cruise control, right? Up top, tilt slide moonroof option versus the stationary EX90 glass, all right? Now that we're done showing you the front, let's show you second and third row, then hop into the EX90. Now, second row bench seat in the XC90, we have 3 seats versus the EX90. In the Performance Ultra, you get 2 captain chairs with armrests, okay? We still have the Napa leather back here as well. An armrest that pops out in the center with the cup holders. Complete difference with regards to the cup holder setup on the XC90 versus the EX90. Built-in booster seat. So this would be more of a family-oriented if you have the mini kiddo card, okay? In front, we got the mesh pockets on the hard back of the front seats, the quad climate controls with the heated seats back here, and 2 USB-C plugins. One thing that the Ultra trim in the XC90 gets you that the Performance Ultra doesn't get you in the EX90 being the top trim is this extra sun visor back here to help you with the sun, okay? Now that we're done with the second row seating, as you guys can see, 6 feet 2 inch guy in here fits pretty well. Let's go ahead and shoot over to the third row seat. By bunny hopping this seat forward with the lever here, we're gonna push that forward. And leaving the second row seat in the stationary position, let's go ahead and show you guys what the 2 seats back here bring you in the XC90. Now, completely tight back here with my head touching the top liner and my legs touching the back of those 2 fronts, the second row seats. On the right and on the left, we have a cup holder with a little cubby room and a vent on the C-pillar. 2 seats back here, so you're only getting 2 passengers with a little shelf area or a little cubby room down here as well. All right, now that we're done showing you guys the XC90, let's do a quick look on the EX90. Now, if you ask me, I have to say, guys, I wish they would have put Napa leather inside the EX90. But again, the color on this Nordico upholstery is just beautiful. The seat in this EX90, a whole lot more buckety, okay? Now, you're not getting the full comfort you're getting in the XC90, a bit more stiff on the seats, if you ask me, sitting in these seats. We still have the electric leg extensions and the electric controls, but no perforation on the seating system, okay? These only come heated seating in the front seats and on the second row, to where, remember, the XC90 was getting the ventilation as well. So, coming over to the dashboard. Dashboard natural wood and inlay, complete different design on the dashboard with regards to the full EV look. The more squinted, sleek design on the vents, as well as slight canvas trim going across that dashboard. The 11-inch screen versus a 14.5-inch screen. This is probably my preferred because I love the big screens with the tech inside the vehicles. Let's go ahead and show you guys what our apps look like. Both have the Google Maps and the Google Assistant system, Bluetooth, okay, and Sirius XM. But the XA90 does get Apple CarPlay, where the EX90 does not have the Apple CarPlay, okay? Come over to the vehicle. This is what it looks like to control the lighting system. You get touch-sensitive controls here to where on the lighting system on the XC90 was over here just like that old lever, just like in every other vehicle on the market. All right, so that's something different too as well, and you can open the glove box from a touch-sensitive button. There you go. Now let's go ahead and show you guys the camera system. Yep. And this is what the camera system looks like. A very nice big screen. Tap that, show you guys the rear, show you guys the front, and you can split the screen as well. Okay, go back home. Center console, completely different with the armrest. Natural wooden inlay with a lockable lid for those cup holders. This is what your proximity key is going to look like. Completely different on the key fobs as well. All right, wireless charging pad and a bridge area for personal belongings, and your 2 USB-C plugins are here in the front. All right, over to the cluster. Remember I told you the big difference from 12 inches to 9 inches, and this is a pop-out cluster. It is no longer in the dashboard like the XC90, but it pops out on the steering column, and you can actually change the theme. Okay, the XC90, you weren't able to change the theme so much. You put the maps there in the center, and you can give it a different look. There goes what it shows on the vehicle recognition, because it senses a front vehicle in front of us, and come back to the standard view. On the right hand side, we don't have the crystallized shift lever, but we do have a steering column lever for the parking, reverse, neutral, and drive. On the left hand side, we have the automatic high beam assist, the signal lights, and the windshield wiper controls. Up top, we get the Bowers & Wilkins sound system there in the center. Beautiful look on that, with the bigger heads-up display on the EX90. Phenomenal, okay? Over to the driver door panel. Remember I told you guys about the door panel on the XC90 is a bit more flat, it's a bit more curvy. The Bowers & Wilkins still in the same area with the elongated speaker cover. You still get the natural wooden inlay with the ambient lighting, but again, look at the controls to your window switches. You only have 2 switches. You would have to press down on that touch-sensitive button, and actually controls the front and the back. They let you know by lighting up those 2 vertical lines, right? Now that we're done showing you guys the front, one more thing up top, the stationary glass. Remember, tilt slide moonroof option. I think that's what the XC90 has over the EX90. I like my moonroofs when I want them, okay? Now that we're done, let's go ahead and show you the second and third row and finish up with this vehicle. The captain chairs with the never seen Volvo armrest. And remember I was telling you guys about the complete different setup on the cup holders? Check this out. This is like some 007 stuff. Cup holders pop out and pop back in. You still control the seats the same way as with the lever down there and the lever on the side of the seats with the lever here to bunny hop that seat forward. In front, we got kind of the same idea, mesh pockets on the hard back of those front seats. In between, we have the quad zone climate control, heated seats, air vents, USB-C plugins, a little shelf area with pop-out cup holders. You have an aisleway for these seats. Let's go ahead and bunny hop this seat forward. Just like that, slide it forward. You also have a button here to control the rear third row seats going up and down electrically, okay? Now we're back here. Let's go ahead and do a space test. Remember, 6 feet 2 inches. The second row is completely there, but it is a bit more claustrophobic even than the XC90. I'm actually kneeling my head a bit lower, so I don't have a lot of clearance. With the legroom, feels a bit more claustrophobic. On the right and on the left, though, you still have the cup holders, but what the EX90 Performance Ultra adds, 2 USB-C plugins. The XC90 did not add tech in the back, so you don't have chargers in the back. You still have the air vents in the same area on the C-pillars. Now, guys, we like to drop those MSRP stickers. So here's first to the XC90 T8 plug-in hybrid. Hopefully this helps you guys out. Now here's the MSRP sticker to the full EV EX90 at Volvo in the Performance Ultra trim. Hopefully this video helped you guys with a quick look in comparison from gas plug-in electric over to full EV. Thank you so much for watching our channel at Vagabond Builds. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We really need you guys. Thank you and God bless.